Hello, good morning. How are you? What's up, everybody? It is a Monday, 25th of October. It's a Dictionary of Days, part 20, and slightly overcast day today. You know, sort of. Grass is still beautiful. Right, we are looking at 22 degrees today. I'm just hoping it's going to rain. A little bit of rain is always nice. Check it, dog. Head out the window. Cruising lekker. So yeah, part 20. It's just another day. Right, everybody. Good morning. As I said, what is the time? It's 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock in the morning. Hi, I'm Batman. Anyway, so yeah. Specialty. Alright, so we're gonna just do a short one today. Maybe, maybe not. But I want to talk a little bit about parents. You know, parents in addiction. This to me, you know, I take my hat off because I see it's like making my eyes dark. This to me is a thing that I despise. I really get angry, you know, at this is my personal point of view. So please, you know, it's like I really get angry at parents, addicted parents. You know, when they come into rehab or when they come in for counseling, you know, they're all into it. They all, I gotta do this, you know, I gotta do this for my kids, man. You know, it's been far too long, you know. You know, I love my kids, I don't know what I would do without them. And you're like, okay, if you wanna do this, I will help you all the way. I will be by your side all the way. I will guide you. I will do everything to help you, my brother. And then either peer pressure kicks in or just plain your own personal desire kicks in. Okay? Still fluish. So, and then you relapse. And that is when I lose my temper. Because yes, you came in for help, great stuff. First and foremost, all right, most of the time the kids come during the addiction stage. All right, so you should never have had kids in the first place. That's harsh, I know, but I say it as it is. If you don't like it, fly a kite. The truth hurts. So now let's say your kids are now primary school, high school, okay? Primary school or high school. Around that age, okay? And hey, your old friend phones you up and says, hey man, I'm gonna go score some drugs, man. You wanna come with? Hey, cheeky poo, you know? Cheeky poo. And you go. You go and you score drugs, you use drugs, you get high, you come home. You go, you get drunk, get smashed, get hammered, come home, All of you are assholes. What that shows to me, and what that shows to your children, and what that shows to your spouse, and what that shows to the child welfare people, and what that shows to everybody else in your life, is that your substance is far more important to you than your damn kids. Why the hell did you have kids in the first place? This to me is a sore point. It's a very sore point. You carry on using drugs or alcohol or whatever. You show your kids that your substance, your addiction, is far more important to you than they are. And you know what? When child services step in and child services sees this, they will think the exact same thing. You are unable and unwilling to change. You're unwilling to change because, we'll just have one. Please, man. When the has ever one just been enough? Eh? Last week, well, yesterday we spoke about, you can believe your own bullshit. Eh? This is one of those things. Take the freaking blinkers off, bro. Okay? And come to the party. I get very upset with parents, with addicts that have children. Very upset. Because nothing should be more important in your life than your children. Nothing should be more important in your life than your kids. Your kids should be as every other parent. Your kids should be your above all, end all. And then you come and you tell me, it was just one. It's like, really? Are we going to play this game? And I'm back to balance my phone again. Should not have touched it. Now it's off center, now it's going to freak me out. It's a very sore point. And, there's a lot of times where I want to say things, um, you know, to those specific people. But, I can't. I have to be professional. I have to keep my professionalism going when we're having our one-on-ones or group sessions, whatever. Getting a headache now thinking about it. Blood pressure. I don't say it in so many words, but I do point out the fact that you are making the substance your addiction. I do make this a fact in counseling, is that you are putting above your family, your children especially. And I promise you this. No, let me not promise you anything. Let me just state this. If you don't make a change, nothing's going to change. All you're going to do is just cause a vicious cycle where your children will end up doing the exact same thing you're doing. Think about it. You're doing it. And probably most of the time you're doing it in front of them. Drinking while your kid's in the car with you. Going to pick up from the drug dealer while your kid's in the car with you. I see that. I promise somebody's going to hospital. But this goes to show you the level the disease has on a person. Because in a sober mind, you would never drink while your kid's in the car and you're driving. If you were sober minded, you would never go and stop at the dealer with your child in the car. Think about it. You wouldn't. Thought for the day. It is never too late to make a fresh start with God. Think about it. It's never too late to make a fresh start with God. Right, we are on the 25th today. I'm going to add another one thing. Nah, I'll leave that maybe for another time. Okay, let's start this. Please remember, IR, not with RR. Okay, I'm not with the AA or the CA or the NA or the DA. Too soon. So I'm not affiliated with them at all, the AA or the CAs or the NAs. As they are not affiliated with me, I do use their scriptures, the text or books, whatever you want to call it, because I do find it is helpful. Main reason I do this is to try and reach that one still suffering addict, may get something from this, as well as this helps me every day to also read this and whatever else may be going on. Also, 25th of October, principles before personalities. All right, that's the heading. Anonymity. Only those who go to meetings will know what that means. Anonymity is the spiritual foundation of all our traditions, ever reminding us to place principles before personalities. Traditional 12. That's where it comes from, not basic text. Right, principles before personalities. We're talking principles just now as well. Going to score drugs while your kid's in the car. Right, that's one type of principle. Okay. Many of us check these words along with the reader whenever the 12 traditions are read. The fact that these words have become a cliche or sorts doesn't make them any less important, either in service or in our lives. These words are an affirmation. We listen to our conscience and do what's right, no matter who's involved. Right. I call my conscience the small, still voice from God, my higher power. That little voice keeps telling me, don't turn right here, bro. Turn left. And I've learned through my 8 years of recovery is that listen. Listen to your conscience or your small, still voice. Listen to it. Follow it. Because trust me, I learned the hard way. If you don't, things fall apart. Okay. No matter who's involved. And that principles serves as one of the cornerstones of recovery, as well as our traditions. What does principles before personalities really mean? It means we practice honesty and humility, compassion, tolerance, and patience with everyone, whether we like them or not. So I would like to use that as an example as a counselor. You know, being in rehab with some people that you don't really like, and a lot of you can contest to this as well. I mean, how many rehabs have you been to where you've run into somebody else that you met in a different rehab? Eh? Addicts be jumping, right? And there's a lot of times you personally you meet people, other addicts that just rub you the wrong way. You don't like them for nothing, but when they walk into your room or into your office for counseling, you're gonna put that shit on the back burner. They're there for help. Help them. Humility. Humble yourself to not put your feelings in the way of helping this person who obviously is there to get help. We practice honesty. Honesty, I love it. Because we become such good liars, like I said, you believe your own BS. Start small, start being honest. Sit down with your accountability partner, whoever, and talk about your addiction lifestyle. Like myself, I did it with my mother. But there is certain things that the mother should not really hear. So be discerning on what you share. Is it going to hurt this person to hear something like that? Are they going to benefit from it or are they going to get hurt? So choose wisely. Right, humility. I mentioned this in one of the previous videos when I first started counseling, shouting at one of the residents, and then later being told, that that resident was actually right. They weren't involved in that specific episode. So I had a group session just after that where I was giving a group, and in the group, I stood up in the group, and you know had to practice humility because as a counselor, and I've said this before, you need to practice what you preach. So I had to humble myself to apologize to this person in front of the whole rehab because when I was shouting at him, I wasn't exactly quiet. All right. So think about it. Compassion, having compassion. All right. Compassion, I had to learn this also while counseling, and that is that certain addicts, like myself, you can be hard on them, tell them straight to their face, you're messing up, this and this and this. I was one of those addicts. I preferred that. And then there's other addicts that are so sensitive, if I can put it like that, that if you touch them just a little too hard, they shatter. So it's like what we call is you have to work with them with kid gloves. Okay? So compassion, tolerance, tolerate these people. Okay? And anybody else in your life, basically. Alright, but anyway, let's move along here. Putting principles before personalities teaches us to treat everyone equally. Funny, I saw a beautiful picture the other day, and it was of this old lady sitting on a park bench, and there was this guy sitting next to her on the park bench. But what the difference was, Okay, first of all, picture the old lady. Picture the old lady as your grandma. Okay, you know the granny with a knitted jersey on, you know, and she's always knitting or whatever. That picture in your head, right? Now picture the guy sitting next to her. Shaved head, tattooed from top to bottom. Okay? Completely tattooed. And these two are having the biggest conversation in the world. And it said there that in society, these two would not normally meet, but because they're both addicts, they have a denominator, common denominator that brings them together. That they can help each other, that they can tolerate each other. And that to me was very powerful. Think about it. Right. Whether we like them or not, putting principles before personalities teaches us to treat everyone equally. The 12 steps asks us to apply principles in all our affairs. The 12th tradition suggests we apply them to our relations with everyone. Okay, so let's go back there. The 12 steps asks us to apply principles in all our affairs. So don't be one way at home and another way at work. That's part of what my version of this section is. Okay, so the principles you will have at home must be the same principles that you have during your day at work or whatever. You should never change your principles for the situation. Principles should stay the same. 12th edition suggests we apply them to our relations with everyone. See, it's telling you there. You one way with Peter doesn't mean you must be a different way with Yanni. You must be the same person. Practice principles doesn't stop with our friends or when we leave a meeting. It's for every day, for everyone, in all areas of our lives. So the same principle. You get out of bed, the day you get in bed, for your day at work, whatever. Your personal principles must stay the same. When you start changing your personal principles to suit someone else, you're setting yourself up for failure. Just for today, I will listen to my conscience and do what's right. My focus will be on my principles, not on people's personalities, because we like to match our personality with somebody else's personality. But that person's principles is 9 out of 10 times different to your principles. I hope you all enjoyed it. Somebody got something from it. Peace be with you all. God bless and adios.